Gosh, UFC 308 Abu Dhabi is looking like an absolutely stacked card on paper, man. You mean to tell me you have Max Holloway and Ilia Topuria as your main event? Robert Whitaker and Hamza as your co-main event. Cyril Gane, Alexander Volkov, Magomed Ankalaev versus Miocic. Shahar Magomedov versus Petrosian. Leon Murphy versus Dan Eay as your prelims. RDA versus Jeff Neal as your prelims. Guys, this is absolutely stacked, but let's go ahead and get through this card right here. But before we go ahead and get through it, like the video, subscribe, guys. This is my rough draft. We do not have our bets and predictions here, but we're going to give you our rough draft and what we think about this fight card so far. And let's talk about it. Max Holloway versus Ilia Topuria. Now, guys, I love Max Holloway. I'm going to start off by saying this now. I love what he did to Justin Gaethje, because after what Justin Gaethje did to Tony Ferguson, killing Tony Ferguson that night, Max Holloway avenged Tony Ferguson that night and knocked Justin Gaethje the fuck out and made him a bloody pulp mess. And I respect him for that, and I always will respect him for that. But going into this fight against a guy like Ilia Topuria, man, it's going to be a tough night out. And Ilia Topuria is the favorite in this fight, minus 205. And I was surprised when I seen that. I thought this would have been a dead even fight, or a little bit of Max Holloway would have been a little bit of a slightly favored matchup here. But, guys, as much as I want to root for Max Holloway winning this fight, my heart is telling me Ilia Topuria is going to win this fight, and this is me keeping it real. Now, guys, a 48% chance that Max Holloway wins it by KO, TKO, and a 44% chance that he wins it by decision. But when it's all said and done, man, those hands that Ilia Topuria has, he's knocking Max Holloway out. This fight is going to be stood up onto the floor, and these guys are going to brawl it out. And the guy that's going to stand out of this brawl, in this exchange, in that whole heat of exchange, is going to be Ilia Topuria, man. This dude beat Alexander Volkanovski once. Max Holloway lost 3 times to Alexander Volkanovski. Basic MMA math should tell you that Ilia Topuria should win this fight. Everything screams Ilia Topuria should have it. He has the whole country behind him in Spain. It's hard for me not to go ahead and be behind this guy in this fight. But having Max Holloway as an underdog value, I will say it's good value to go ahead and put your money on. I would put my money on Max Holloway because he is good underdog value. Anything can happen in the fight, I will say. But when it's all said and done, and then we're doing this by damage, and that's the main criteria in an MMA fight, in UFC at least, I have Ilia Topuria. He has too much in his bag. He has a wrestling game that is somewhat evident. If we're just going to go to the grappling right here, takedown accuracy is at a 56, and that's good enough. The takedown defense is at a 92. The dude doesn't get taken down. So Ilia Topuria is the guy to be doing a lot of the wrestling exchanges in the fight. I have Ilia Topuria winning the fight, but this is a fight that I will not put my money on probably, and I will just be a fan, and I will just enjoy the fight and just root for whoever wins the fight, and just root for both guys. Next fight up, we have Robert Whitaker versus Hamza Chimaev. And guys, this hurts me. This really hurts me because I don't want to see these two guys match up with each other. I'm a fan of both these guys, but I love Robert Whitaker just a little bit more. I love him just a little bit more. I've been playing with him a lot on UFC 5, guys. If you want to see UFC 5 gameplay, put it down in the comments. Let your boy know. But I've been playing with my boy, The Reaper, a lot on UFC 5. And now I'm just supposed to look at him now and be like, you're supposed to lose this fight to Hamza. My heart is telling me that Robert Whitaker is going to win this fight. And my brain is telling me that Robert Whitaker is going to win this fight. Hamza Chimaev has been gone for too long. That ring rust will show. One thing about Hamza Chimaev, he hasn't shown yet that he's able to, he's shown that he's able to last within the late rounds, but he hasn't shown that he's able to have a good tank in the later rounds. And this is a 3-round fight. And I think that my boy Robert Whitaker should be able to gas out Hamza Chimaev. But Robert Whitaker is known to start his fights off slow, and Hamza Chimaev is known to start his fights off fast. So that first round, whoever wins that first round, in my opinion, I feel like it's going to be the tone setter of round 2 and 3. At least for round 2. Round 3 might be a different story, but whoever wins that round 1 will win round 2. And I feel like that will be the way for any of these fighters to win the fight here. Now, let's go ahead and see. Oh, wow. Wow, Hamza is the favorite going into this fight. Wow, I did not think that. So you're getting Robert Whitaker at underdog value, which I think is pretty solid. Robert Whitaker is at a later stage of his in his age right now. I don't know how old is he, but the motherfucker is older. Hamza is going against a former champ. 8% chance that Hamza wins this by KO. Which I think is kind of crazy because Hamza kind of has some thumper hands if you've seen that Gilbert fight. 85% chance that this goes into decision. And guys, if I'm gonna be so honest, I don't know who gets this win, but I know that this fight is not going into decision. I believe this fight, somebody's getting knocked out in this fight. And it's that simple. I believe somebody's going to go ahead and get knocked out, or worst case scenario, take a brutal shot and get subbed. I think that's the path of victory for any of these fighters in this matchup here. This is not a fight that you go ahead and you can have. It's hard to take Robert Whitaker down, man. If you look at Robert Whitaker's takedown accuracy, it's at an 82. But this dude has been in the game for so long compared to Hamza Chimaev. No one would dare to take him down. But, you know, Robert Whitaker has been in the game for so long. So, I mean, I don't know how much, what fight did that take a huge bump down. But I trust Robert Whitaker when it comes down to takedown defense, motherfuckers. All in all, we got the next fight up. Ciryl Gane versus Volkov. Now, let's look at what's the odds. Oh, wow. Volkov is the underdog. Wow. Wow. Now, guys, this is in Abu Dhabi. So we're not in Ciryl Gane, her home turf in France. So this being in Abu Dhabi, this feels like this is Alexander Volkov's home turf. This is his home turf, actually. It doesn't feel like it. This is his home turf. He has all of Abu Dhabi, I feel like, behind him. And this dude has been on a tear lately. Ciryl Gane has been ducking fights against guys like Tom Aspinall, while Alexander Volkov has been taking guys like Sergey Pavlovich, taking his friend, fighting his own friend, and having to beat his own friend. And if you're able to do that, I can put my money on you. For him to be underdog value is kind of surprising to me right now. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I thought Volkov would be the favorite in this fight. The wrestling for Volkov is there. It's there now. I didn't think it would be there, but it's there. I'm forgetting against who did he fight that he showed his wrestling. But the dude, he's showing that that Russian style of wrestling and its fighting style now, and I'm starting to like it. It's a 67% chance that he wins this fight by KO and TKO, which I don't think he actually wins this fight by. I think he wins this fight by decision. I think he takes Ciryl Gane down to the ground. Ciryl Gane's takedown or his ground defense isn't good at all. His takedown defense might be pretty decent, but I mean, you take this dude down to the floor, he's done. And that's the path to victory for Volkov, and it's clear as day. Wrestlers, it was MMA Guru dropped a video about Sean O'Malley beating Merab and Sean O'Malley throwing more damage out to Merab. I didn't watch the full video, but I mean, if that's the true case there, and Sean O'Malley actually did throw out more damage and Merab won it by control time, I mean, I just don't see how that same equation don't happen in this fight right here. The Merab and Sean O'Malley fight that just happened, I see it happening for this Alexander Volkov and Ciryl Gane fight. And I say I'm putting the house on Volkov. I'm putting every last cent I have on Volkov, guys. Volkov will be my main pick, guys. It's a rough draft of my bets and predictions. But if I had to put my money on somebody today, gun in my head, I got Volkov. But we're going to see as the fight build up. I'm actually interested in that fight. Volkov is an underdog. Next fight up, we have Miocic versus Magomed Ankalaev, and Ankalaev is the favorite, minus 355 going into this fight right here. And Miocic looked absolutely solid against Yuri Prochazka until Yuri Prochazka just did, I don't know what happened to this dude, but he woke up out of nowhere and knocked out Miocic. Now him going against Ankalaev in this fight right here. Nah, I feel like Miocic is going to have a moment into this fight right here. But when it's all said and done, Ankalaev knows next fight up, it's for the belt. He cannot fuck around anymore. I feel like all the fuckery that Ankalaev has done has happened already. The Paul Craig moment has happened. He's gone through that moment. The Jan Blachowicz moment's happened. He's gone through that moment. Now he's tired of going through moments. I feel like Ankalaev is going to win this fight by unanimous decision, and it's going to be that simple. I want Rakic to win the fight. I'm rooting for Rakic to win the fight. I would rather Rakic win the fight. But if I'm putting my money on someone, Ankalaev should be able to dominate in this fight. He should be able to use his sambo wrestling in this fight. I believe he is a sambo wrestler. 58% chance that Rakic win the fight by that Ankalaev win the fight by knockout, and 69% chance that Rakic win the fight by knockout. 69% chance. That's his path to victory. He has to win by knockout. I don't know how this fight goes, to be honest. I really don't. I think decision, but this is a light heavyweight fight. These are two big guys going at it. I don't know though, guys. I'm gonna be so honest with you guys. I really don't. I'm not gonna say how this fight is gonna go in terms of that. Next fight up, we have Shahar Magomedov versus Arman Petrosyan. Now, Arman Petrosyan, it sounds crazy, but I'm looking at this dude, and I think this dude could be something. It's something there with Petrosyan, and he hasn't truly figured it out yet. He hasn't truly gotten to his max potential, but I feel like this is a fight where he's going to take this fight camp seriously. I don't know if he does something in his like if he has a backup job or he has a main job and he does fighting onto the side. But he's going against Shahar Magomedov. He knows this is a big fight, and I believe he's going to go ahead and step up to the plate. Now, Shahar Magomedov is a good stand-up fighter. Has no grappling game. Pretty good takedown defense, though. I will give him that. But this dude is very defeatable. Out of all the underdogs that I've seen thus far, I feel like this is the best underdog that you can go ahead. Actually, not the best underdog, but this is the second best underdog you can go ahead and possibly put some dollars on. This fight, I just don't know how this fight is going to go. This fight, I have to see more. I'm be so honest with you guys. I just have to see more. I think this is going to be a bloody fight, though. Two Russians going at it. This could be a bloody fight, guys. I gotta see more. I gotta see more. Yeah, they have either fighters winning this by KO, and it's that simple. Yeah, this is gonna be a brutal fight, and that's how I have this fight going. That's why it's kind of hard for me to say that Petrosyan is gonna win this fight. But if he is an underdog going into this fight, I felt no odds are on this fight. Actually, I thought he would be the underdog, but this is an interesting fight. If Petrosyan's an underdog, I'm taking him, and it's that simple. Next fight up, we have Lerone Murphy versus, and we're doing one more fight after. Oh, we have Saeed Nurmagomedov too. He's gonna win this fight. He's washing this Brazilian. He's washing Daniel Santos. We're not even gonna go ahead and go too crazy on it. But we have Lerone Murphy versus Dan Eay, and Lerone Murphy is going to go ahead and pick Dan Eay apart. I like Dan Eay, man, but this Lerone Murphy dude doesn't have that knockout power to him, but man, he's such a sniper. He's so accurate, man. And this is going to be a stand-up fight. Lerone Murphy is going to go ahead and put his combinations together, and it's going to be absolutely nasty, man. This dude, Lerone Murphy, I haven't seen this combination games is good. I haven't seen a combination game like who did he fight? I'm forgetting who did he fight. Let's go ahead and see who he fought. I forgot. It was his last fight where he threw out some mean combinations. Wow, they're not letting me go to it. All right, whatever. But he had through some mean combinations, and that literally put Lerone Murphy. It made me remember his name, because I did not know who he was before that last fight he had. And going against Dan Eay, I'll take Lerone Murphy. The odds have him winning by KO, TKO 50%, and 50% by decision. Wow, Dan Eay 33% by KO, TKO. A little bit of a submission chance. All right. So that's interesting. All right, interesting. Last fight up, and we actually have fighters that I know for sure who they are, because I didn't actually know who Lerone Murphy is too much. I gotta learn more about him, but that fight that I did see, it was solid. But two fighters that we both know, Jeff Neal, Okay, it's not gonna pop up. All right, let's put it up right here. Neal versus who is he fighting again? Jeff Neal versus. Oh wow, that's why it didn't pop up. Versus RDA. Versus RDA. All right, let's go right here. Jeff Neal versus RDA. Let's see what Tapology got right here. All right. Jeff Neal versus RDA, man. Two veterans going at it. Two guys that's been in the game for a long ass time. 34 years old, and Jeff Neal versus a younger RDA. And RDA, I thought this dude has shown a different level of himself at 40 years old. I thought he'll be a smarter fighter, and I love RDA. I think he's a good fighter, but I think Jeff Neal picks and peels RDA apart, man, and that's just what it is. Jeff Neal's going to utilize that jab and just start working RDA. One thing that Jeff Neal has is good takedown defense, and he's definitely going to utilize that in this fight. When RDA's stand-up game is not present, he will go to that grappling, and that grappling shows. Once he goes to that grappling and he can't get it, it shows he is a deer in headlights, and Jeff Neal should be able to go ahead and put in that work. His nickname is Hands of Steel for a reason. That jab should be a main factor in that fight. And oh wow, 91% has Jeff Neal winning the fight. Wow. And that, to be honest, Jeff Neal just wins the fight, and that's just what it is. RDA is old. Dude is done. He's 40 years old. He's taken enough beatings. 50 plus fights in his career, man. Dude is done. And that's just what it is. Guys, all in all, guys, like the video, subscribe, motherfucks. That'll do it for the UFC 308. Quick little talk. I don't know what you guys want to call this. I just did a little breakdown. Wanted to holler at you guys, let you guys know how I'm looking at it so far. If you guys want to see the Volkanovski versus Benoit Saint Denis fight card predictions, put it down in the comments. I'm highly thinking about doing that. I don't know if I really want to do that. I mainly want to just do the predictions for pay-per-view time. But all in all, I'll give it a look. Guys, like the video, subscribe. I'm out.